Victim's name is Leo Kopernik, sir. Seems he was killed in the costume store. And then he was deposited here.
I played Dennis the usher, and he's just sort of like a young, bumbling theatre usher from the West Country. So sort of a bit like myself, really. There's not a lot of difference. But he's not really a character you see centre stage. He's always sort of lurking around in the wings. But no, really lovely part to play, definitely.
What did he do that made you suspicious? It wasn't so much what he did, it was more the way he did it. How did he do it? Sort of suspiciously. Right.
Incredible cast. It was. Do you know what? I was absolutely terrified meeting everyone. So I don't know if I said anything the first few days, but no, it's like seeing them in the flesh do their thing, and everyone's got a different method, and learned so much. It was just brilliant. Yeah, having that scene. My first scene was with Sam Rockwell in Search of Odin, which was like proper pinch yourself moments, and it's just incredible.
I play Sheila Sim, who is an actress and based on a real-life person, real-life actress, Sheila Sim, and she is one of the suspects in this movie.
Help me? To do what?
Bagged the lead role in the film with the mousetrap. Top billing. Make you a star.
But I have bagged the lead role.
Yeah, who told you that, Wolfie?
He is the producer.
Honey, he just cuts the checks. I'm the director. Without me, there is no movie.
Yeah, I think it almost kind of broaches on the absurdist, but I mean, it's a kind of slapstick whodunit set in the 50s. I mean, it's great, really. I think audience can kind of expect to watch something that's strangely familiar, but slightly subversive. It's a costume drama, it's a whodunit, we all know these things, but it kind of has a slight edge to it, which I think people will really enjoy. I really couldn't believe my luck. I still can't. I still can't. If someone had told me a few years ago that I'd be working with my idols, I wouldn't have believed them. So it's been a real joy, a real privilege.
So my character's name is Gio. His inspiration, I don't know, it's the mad imagination of Mark Chappell, I imagine, but he is a Neapolitan taxidermist. And what's the word? They're using the word consort. Boyfriend of one of the other characters.
How much longer do you intend to hold us all hostage?
Or is that the idea? Gather all the suspects and interrogate each of us in turn until the mystery's solved?
Marvin Cocker-Norris, overrated playwright.
Celebrated playwright?
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I can't read my own handwriting.
For me, it's got great, farcical Mel Brooks elements, and it's got them, whip smart, murder mystery elements. It's got both. It's big and fun and mad and silly, but then also really satisfying, and the twists are great. So it's got both elements. Lots of twists and turns, lots of loop-de-loops, surprises, a lot of laughs, a lot of belly laughs and witty laughs. And I think it's got a really nice heart as well.
I play a character called Saville, who is the mistress of John Wolfe, who's played by Sheila Smith. And I feel like I'm so bad with stuff like this because I always feel like I'm going to give the game away. But she's kind of sassy and wants to get her man, I suppose. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to do all my scenes with Reese. Tom George is amazing. I mean, he's so cool as a director. As a place to start. But also, he's one of those directors that will come in and just give you one little note, and the whole thing changes and tweaks. And you go, oh my God, I never thought about approaching it in that way. So yeah, it was a real privilege to work with him.
The idea came from a very famous play that's been on the West End for a long time, which was seen by the producer Damian Jones. And he had the idea that there might be a new way to tackle the whodunit. You know, the tricky thing is, it's a genre that everyone loves, but how do you bring something new to it when every sort of plot device has been used throughout the years? So he thought that a murder mystery set inside a murder mystery might be an interesting take. And Mark Chappell, the writer, then ran with that, and I came on board, and yeah, here we are. The biggest challenge was to balance the comic elements with the thriller elements, because we really wanted it to be a thriller in its own right. There was a satisfying whodunit, but also it's a comedy. So keeping those two things in balance was the key. And to be honest, you know, we worked really hard at it from the script through shooting, and then of course in the edit. So hopefully tune those two elements just right. The cast is frankly intimidating. The cast that we've got. Lots of them are here tonight. It still intimidates me. Yeah, it was the script, and it was the strength of the idea. It just got people excited, and we were lucky enough to sort of get this just incredible ensemble cast, a mix of some brilliant screen actors, big screen actors, but also some of my favourite British comic talents all coming together in one ensemble. Just amazing.
My character is Petula Spencer, and she is the theatre impresario of one of the big West End theatres in London during this time. And she's got a great hit on her hands. So she doesn't want the play to close, but the writer wants the play to close because, of course, if the play closes, he then gets to make the movie version of it. So anyway, that's the premise. And it's a wonderful sort of film that's full of these amazing characters. Someone's killed someone, and we're inside the theatre trying to work out who amongst all these obnoxious people has killed who. Anyway, so that's the premise of it. Yeah, it was great fun to do. And also we were filming it, January 2021. COVID was still around and all the theatres were shut, so we were filming it within the theatre, and it was really wonderful actually to be in those spaces and having them used, and telling a story about theatre and about actors and writers and creatives.
You know, the irony was that we were very fortunate in that, A, we were allowed to work, essential workers for some reason, and because of the subject matter, the theatres, the real theatres were empty, which in real times would not have been possible, obviously. So we were able to take over all the theatres and the Savoy. Sometimes it's a bit like being The Shining, but, you know, had amazing experiences and, you know, grateful and generosity, and, you know, we lucked out. It was bizarre, the irony of it all.
There was an incident. I'll kill you.
It's as good as a confession.
Let's not jump to conclusions, Constable.
What do we have here? Working late, huh?
He killed Kopernik to hush up the affair. Case closed. I'm doing it again, aren't I, sir? Jumping to conclusions.